Hi everyone, I just want to first of all thank you for inviting me here to speak on this little program. The topic that I was asked to address was making counting count. We're here in the process of counting the Omer. We're in our homes in an unprecedented Magefa, an unprecedented plague that has taken the whole world by the storm. And here we are counting in our homes the Omer every single day. It's very interesting, the whole concept of the Yidden coming out of Mitzrayim, being on the 49th level of Shari Tumah. They were at a terribly low level, and within 49 days, they reached the highest level, one step at a time. You know, it's very interesting. During this time, I'm often thinking about what happened to me just 9 months ago when I was lying in hospital, being told by doctors there was only a 1 in 20 chance that I was going to be able to make it out. It was very unusual. It was a 1 in a million chance that a regular tooth dental treatment had spread with an infection into my brain. They had to do brain surgery and they said, "You have to know, Benjamin, we're going to do our best. But all the chances, all the odds are stacked up against you." And it's very interesting to think that at that time, the Kabbalahs that I took on, the things which I thought about I wanted to change in my life, the things that my family and friends and community took on in order to be able to, Baruch Hashem, be here with you today. But I was on the phone with one of my Rabbi and he said, "Benji, don't take something huge on. Don't try and be a changed person. Don't say everything's going to be different." He said, "Benji, you know what you want to do? Take something on which you can sustain and maintain." And it's such a powerful thing, because when we think of change during this coronavirus, we think of all the things that we want to do, then it can be overwhelming. And very quickly we can revert back to normal when things go back to normal. But if in 10 years' time, we tell our children that, you know what, I took on something really small during this coronavirus, and I've done it still today. We lit the Shabbos candles early. We had Malava Malka. We did something, and then every week I built on that. Until today, from that coronavirus, we've grown. That's real. You know, Rabbi Kiva, he changed his entire life. His entire life, he changed it by seeing a gush of water that came from a stream and had made an impression on a rock. And Chazal tell us that Rabbi Kiva thought at 4 years old, if that could happen to that rock, then imagine what could happen to me. And I heard from our Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Meir Stern in Pesach, he said, what was it that Rabbi Kiva saw there? And the idea here is phenomenal. The idea is that Rabbi Kiva saw that this rock had made an impression over thousands of years since the beginning of the Brias Olam. And if you would take all that water and you'd put it in one shot, in one moment over that rock, it would have broken. But because it was one drop and then another drop and then another drop, that's what made the lasting change. When it comes to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we take on Kabbalahs which are too big. And that's why we come back to ground zero every single Rosh Hashanah. But if we can take on something which is small, which we can maintain, which we can sustain, which we can grow from, step by step, as Yaakov's ladder, one step at a time, that's how you can get to Rosh Magia HaShemayma. And it's so interesting, as we watch our lives now change, and we think about the things that we want to do, the things that we want to change, we have to realize that what Hashem wants from us is incremental steps. You know, we're now in the spring-summer term, and I was telling my kids that if you watch the Motzei Shabbos clocks go, it's literally every week 15 minutes, which means every day approximately 2 minutes. 2 minutes every day means the difference between Shabbos coming in when it's really early at 4 o'clock to when Shabbos ends at 10:30. And what is that? 2 minutes a day. If the whole world can go from winter to summer, from complete polarized parts of the planet in 6 months, just from 2 minutes a day, imagine what can happen to us with just 2 minutes a day. Let's count the Omer, let's make that time count, let's do 2 minutes a day, and we'll see that we really can change the world. Good Shabbos.